helicopter came from?
Just tell me where you're from, what you are, what you're doing out here.
It's with the symbol. 3 circles.
If you see someone wearing this jacket, you should be afraid. We are a force who are not living for ourselves or for now.
They are bad people.
We are the last hope.
Welcome to NocBro Nation.
Welcome back, guys. Jarrell here.
And I'm Josh, and today we're here to talk about CRM with all the spin-offs that the AMC and the Walking Dead universe is doing. Are we going to see more CRM?
Yes, that's what we're going to talk about. I think that they should involve the CRM more because the CRM, for one, in the Rick and Michonne series is going to be a pretty good focal point, but with where they left CRM off, I mean, the Walking Dead universe, we got sprinkles of it, of course, with Rick's last episode. We know of the CRM. For those fans who watch World Beyond, that's where we really got to see the true power and magnitude of the CRM, the Civic Republic piece a little bit, and more of the military side.
And evilness.
And evilness, yeah. And where we left off, when World Beyond came out, that series was set 10 years into the apocalypse. We didn't get anything after that. The main Walking Dead show was more focused on the comic book source material with little Easter eggs of CRM in there. One of the last ones that we got was kind of with Lance, where Lance made a comment that he was talking potentially to another community, kind of like a safeguard thing, because he had like these agents and stuff. And so I still think Lance was potentially working with the CRM, maybe having the CRM, having a deal with them to, kind of save the Commonwealth from being, pulled into the CRM or whatever. Yeah. But the CRM is huge, and they're an interesting story. And these spin-offs, we know that they're limited series, so open potential for multiple seasons. We got it with Dead City. We've heard about it already for Daryl Dixon. I think the Rick and Michonne series will kind of be... I think they're going to keep that under wraps because I think they want to make it more of a surprise. And, we still haven't gotten confirmation whether, if the 6 episodes, if that's going to be it, if there's going to be more. I think we'll find out later. But
do you think the Rick and Michonne series opens up for potentially more and kind of renews the Walking Dead franchise? And what I mean by that is you could kind of make an argument that, like, towards the tail end of Walking Dead, the main flagship, viewership went down. It wasn't as strong as it was.
After Rick left,
people weren't as excited about new projects.
Yeah.
Do you think that the Rick and Michonne series rejuvenates that need for the Walking Dead? And what I mean by that is, well, I'll let you answer first.
Well, I don't know if it's Rick and Michonne. Are you saying the Rick and Michonne is going to do it more than Dead City and Daryl will?
Yeah, so I think that I just have a feeling that Rick and Michonne is setting up something new. Bigger.
Something bigger.
Yeah.
For
and what I mean by that is, I find it hard to believe that CRM... I mean, so let me start with this. We saw the end credits scene where Rick is being pulled back in by CRM.
Yeah.
Almost as if they realize that Rick is too much of an asset to let go.
Yeah.
Maybe Rick escaping, because I think that's what we get in the Rick and Michonne series, is more about CRM needing to find him again. Mm-hmm. And, maybe we end the season 1, assuming that it is a multi-season show, of them losing Rick getting away, Rick reuniting with our people, but that kicking off a larger conflict with CRM because Alexandria now has him.
That's perfect. That's exactly what we're talking about is our main group has no idea about the CRM.
Yeah.
None of them. So CRM has not come into... Well, the CRM has not really come into contact with the majority of our groups, right?
2 people have said nothing about them that know about them, and that is Father Gabriel and Negan.
But the majority, our group has not seen anything with CRM related, nothing, right?
Yeah.
So, and that was one thing where a lot of fans at the end of the Walking Dead series, there were some cool posters, even by some followers of us that do awesome posters, that we thought there could have been a Commonwealth CRM altercation, kind of a war in a sense, because Commonwealth was pretty decently sized. CRM we know is massively sized and spread out across the United States. Europe we don't know of yet. Maybe we'll find out. But
I'm glad that didn't happen.
I'm glad it
you
didn't
know why?
happen, yeah.
Because it wouldn't have made sense. Because even with
Right.
Commonwealth, we don't have enough people to do a survivors versus CRM. Like,
yeah,
Omaha couldn't even last.
right. Yeah.
So,
You're absolutely right, because because that series was ending, the continuation of that would have been in spin-offs. So that's where these spin-offs are going to come into. So I do agree with you. I think maybe because of how the stories are going to be for Dead City and Daryl, the Rick and Michonne series is going to be really focused with the CRM because that's where Rick is, and that's where Michonne is going to. So, there was this cool article by Screen Rant of a guy talking about a theory, maybe the CRM is kind of holding Alexandria and them over Rick to basically look, if he escapes, maybe we can get Alexandria's people to give him back to us, or we're going to just come in here and just kill you all. It's kind of a cool theory because it's kind of like, when will our people know that Rick is alive or potentially alive, and the CRM, and how much of a push the CRM will have in the Rick and Michonne series, because it is limited, and will we see the CRM in any other spin-off, like maybe maybe Dead City, because Dead City's in New York, they're fairly close to close to Philadelphia in a sense, to and other maybe CRM outposts. The Daryl Dixon series, I don't see it as much, but there could be maybe some CRM factions overseas that we don't know of. Yeah. And then maybe they can sprinkle a little bit into the Daryl Dixon series. Now, there's plenty of time because there's going to be 2 seasons. So I just kind of think that the CRM really needs to become like the big villain of the universe.
It needs to be the focal point opposite of our survivors, I think. I think that it really needs to be that overall, and I don't mean to compare it because it's nothing like this. It's never going to hit this. I think that this height, but it needs to be the Thanos of,
yeah,
like they need to be that level of a villain to where we can have multiple shows and not just it lasting our standard 8 episodes or a full season of a villain.
Yeah.
Like, it needs to be a multi-deal thing. And the only thing I was upset about when we ended the show, the flagship show, was okay, Judith told Daryl. Daryl knows. Daryl goes out. We don't know if Daryl said, hey, I'm going to continue to look for Rick. I'm going to go out and even look for Michonne so that I can maybe help. We don't know that.
Yeah.
But why wasn't that communicated to the rest? And why didn't we get some kind of acknowledgement that because here's what I'm going is, aside from Herschel being taken, Maggie would have been the first to also look for Rick. I think. Father Gabriel would have went out. Aaron would have went out.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. If they knew about it,
would have looked for Rick.
Yeah.
And that was my only gripe. And so, if Judith is going to tell Daryl, why wouldn't Daryl tell the rest of the people?
Yeah,
he would. That's what I'm basically saying.
Yeah, why wouldn't
he
they?
would?
Yeah.
Why would he not?
Yeah.
And why is our group not looking for him?
Yeah.
It's neither here nor there now.
Yeah.
It's just
it's just how they wrote it. So it does suck because you would think that if any inclination that Rick is alive, the whole group would want to know.
It's all hands on deck.
Yeah.
At that point,
and they would all want to go out and search for him and go basically try to get to Michonne and be like, let's do this together. Let's go.
Exactly.
But
yeah, from a CRM perspective, I kind of hope that I think it'd be a huge mistake not to bring it into the Daryl show, at least in the beginning. Maybe he runs across them.
Yeah, the reason as to why he was on this ship and he got across to France, whatever he was doing, these bad decisions he said he did.
Maybe he got a clue.
Maybe he got some
Rick
type of clue.
Went across seas. That they shipped him across seas.
That's why he went.
And that's why he went.
Yeah.
Or at least got on that cargo ship.
Right. Because it's. That's always just the question that we've always had for the Daryl Dixon one. And stay tuned. We do have another video talking about Daryl Dixon and potential post-credit theory from the world beyond. But Yeah, I think that with the Rick and Michonne series, they're going to be pulling it back in. We know that Jadis is going to be in that. We've seen some behind-the-scenes footage that she was filming, so of course
That's awesome.
She's going to be there.
And Silas.
And well, we hope Silas is there.
I guarantee you. I
We hope we see
guarantee
him.
you, Silas is there.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Silas is from World Beyond. For those that don't know about World Beyond, if you
At
haven't-
least go check it out.
if you haven't seen
Yeah.
World Beyond, go see it because it will give you a better outlook into the roots of the CRM and what they are all about.
And I do think it got better towards the end.
It did. I mean, World Beyond was a limited series. It was 2 seasons. It did a good job. I think it was. You may not have. For those who have watched it, you may not have said, "Well, I didn't really, attract to a specific
Connect with
character
the
or characters
characters,
as
yeah.
much." But the storyline behind it, especially with the CRM
And Jadis.
and Jadis, was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely
And what was
amazing.
her name? The general. Not the general, because there's General Beale that we never see.
Yeah.
But
I
what's
forgot.
her name? Kublik.
Kublik.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was
Kublik,
awesome in that.
She was great.
Yeah.
She was great. So yeah, it's with the Rick and Michonne series, it's a limited series, like we said. We hope that it's going to be multiple seasons. You can say they may spread it out. So like season 1 will be in 2024. Season 2, we may not get it until 2025, 2026 maybe, right? But what are their other plans for spinoffs? Do they have other ideas, excuse me, in a ways of, I kind of wish what they did for Tales of the Walking Dead were stories of like CRM stuff.
Yeah. Or at least
That would
one
be
or
cool.
two.
1 or 2, yeah.
Well, Tales was kind of a different animal.
It was
Like,
a different vibe. Yeah.
Exactly. Like we had at one point like a haunted mansion type deal.
Yeah.
And I don't think that had any walkers in it.
Not really.
If it in the cellar, in the basement, it did.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of a different
It
show.
was
But
a
I
different
agree.
vibe.
I think or at least a web series or something.
Webisodes, yeah, like the webisodes they did. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
You could do kind of a little mini series like they did with Fear the Walking Dead with Dead in the Water.
I was just going
something
to go
like
that route. You could even follow what's her name on a couple helicopter runs or something.
Isabel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And make a story out of that.
Could do that, yeah. So, we've seen some shots of CRM, soldiers in the trailer, or the very quick teaser for Rick and Michonne. My only worry is that it's not going to be like, I don't know about heavy CRM. We know that we're going to see quite a bit of it because Rick is going to be in
Are
there.
you believing the hand hype?
The what?
If you read some of the comments, like,
that he might be losing his hand?
on purpose,
Oh. I have
that he
heard,
cuts it off
I
on
have heard
purpose
some
to
rumors
get out of
about
to
that.
get away.
Yeah,
I don't think
I've had
they'll do
some
it.
rumors about that. Yeah,
No.
and there's some rumors that potentially it could be releasing in February.
Yeah, I
but
saw that
again, AMC has not released anything, so these are just theories right now. But him losing his hand would be a little bit too late. I mean, it happened in the comic books.
They've
but
teased it so much too.
you can't do it now.
At one point, Negan was going to cut off his hand. I think twice. Once in the RV,
Yeah.
towards the beginning, and then he could threaten to cut off his hands in the second lineup.
Yeah, to save Carl or whatever.
Yeah.
But it'd make no sense now. I mean, you could say it could because he's trying to escape, but losing his hand is very iconic for the source material, and if it didn't happen in the main show, there's no reason for it to happen now, unless they just want to make a shock and awe of a callback to the comics. Like, oh, Rick lost his hand, escaping CRM or something.
I wouldn't like it at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't like it. But, yeah, guys, let us know. I mean, do you feel that the CRM should be more involved in these spin-offs? Like, not, depending on, you could say the spin-off. Dead City, they don't have to make it a real focal point, but they can at least sprinkle something in. Like, maybe Negan, as he's working New York, he comes across a section of New York that's like a CRM outpost or something. The Daryl series, maybe we get CRM internationally now. They have factions overseas, and maybe we see something within France that Daryl is dealing with.
Still have Portland, man.
Portland, yeah, we still have Portland. We know that at the end of World Beyond, they went to save Portland from being completely wiped out. Hopefully, they did make it. Well, we know they made it, but we don't know what happened after that.
No.
But yeah, we're just hoping that CRM to kind of make the Rick and Michonne series a little, more relevant and tying into things. CRM, I think, needs to be the big dog in this new Walking Dead universe that we're going to be into now. that we need to do something to help stop them, and for fans who didn't watch World Beyond to know more about this faction of how evil and massive they are. I mean, they are over, what was it, like 200,000 strong. Now that wasn't just the military, that was the actual civic republic, the actual civilians.
Yeah, which is what we are aware of, good people.
Good people. The military side is
the bad.
The bad, we really don't know how large the military is, but they have a lot of numbers from what we've seen.
And
so
a lot
far.
of resources.
Fuel, I mean,
helicopters, tankers,
Yeah.
military equipment, tanks, I'm sure.
And they are brutal. If you get caught by them, that's why Rick has not been back in over a decade. You are not leaving unless you truly escape and just be gone.
Yep.
So let us know in the comments your thoughts on the CRM and the spinoffs, and we will chat with you guys here soon. I am Jarrell.
I'm Josh.
We're NocBro Nation.
We're up.